Okay, on that point now I would like to open the floor for audience.
I am Arloli, Chartered Accountant in practice.
Okay.
Now the topic of discussion is with reference to the bankable project report. In the bankable project report, whatever the intermediaries in which you believe is one thing, and what is the execution done at the initial branch level, that is the bank manager interaction with the SME, is much more important. And there were a period wherein there were special officers to look into the requirements, needs, and assess the credibility of that particular project, which is now missing, and it is only dependent on the documents which is being submitted by the intermediary.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Ramachandran, first I would like you to answer. Okay, Lakshman, first. Okay.
This is the era where outsourcing has become very common. And there are different sectors are there and different technologies, there are different intricacies are there. I think, he's right, what he has pointed out is a very perfect thing. But I think banks can outsource it to the specialized agencies.
Let's take a banker's opinion. Mr. Ramachandran, please.
In those sectors.
Outsourcing certain activities in a bank is something where I think banks will have their own views on it. In general, outsourcing can be thought of as good, but credit is one area where banks certainly do not outsource, because see, this is an area where there has to be an internal comfort, confidence, etc. that our bank, our people know what is good for the bank, right? Outsourcing becomes a totally different structure. The structure itself is different. One minute, let me tell you. You see, it is not that the structure is not in place now. The structure is there. There are credit processing officers, there are credit monitoring officers, there are specialized officers. Banks have recruited a large number of engineers. There are SME factories, like what they call, certain banks have got set up like SME factory. And there is a centralized processing. You see, there are standard filters available. And one of that basically is a direct check. There will be an interface with the customer. Then there will be a client banker interface. During that interface, the banker will try to assess and then find his own comfort level in assessing the viability has to be there. Therefore, the more he has that experience in a particular segment, that experience will add value when he processes one more application.
My name is Durai Swamy. My company name is Corporate Concepts. We have grown to an extent. Now the rent of the commercial property or the industrial manufacturing facility is costly actually. Today the rent is increased every year. Now when we go for industrial land, we are paying about 40 to 50,000 rupees per month. Instead of paying as a rent, we can pay as an EMI. When we ask the bankers, they say we don't finance for land.
Okay.
We can, and moreover, the lands are cheaper outside. Whereas as a SME, the logistic cost is very high if we go out. Every day we manufacture, we market our products. So somebody can give some idea.
I think on case-to-case basis, bank can definitely look into, if you are buying a shed, the bank can look into for financing the cost of the shed minus your contribution. You should also contribute towards the purchase of such assets, because normally when it is a manufacturing company, it is considered that the production credit should be given, or investment credit for machinery should be given. But for purchase of sheds, like structure, or you buy the land, construction of shed, that can be financed.
I'm Ramachandran. Okay, I'm having a software company. I would like to know, like everyone talking about product-based financing, I want to know about service-based financing. Because I didn't see anyone asking about, I went for a bank.
Very important and valid point.
Because I'll put this in. My father is with IOB for 20 years. 25 years, he introduced me to IOB. I am with them for past 6 years. Even if I go and ask for a bill discounting, they ask me a collateral. I feel, because my 10 years of overseas experience,
the current data shows, okay, thank you very much. We got the answer. We're just taking the answer. The current data shows the manufacturing in India is going down drastically, and the service sector is taking up. But still, when it comes to finance for the service sector, the banks are still very conservative. You have to agree on this point.
If the cases are projected or put up in the manner, and the bank people at the spot understands the customer well, which they should, I believe. It can be done. And we have schemes, and today's scheme is not necessary. It can be customized, tailor-made. Everybody is very flexible. The banks are very flexible. You bring the business, we show you how to make it. But I'm sorry for your case because you are our valued customer, and my general manager heading the MSME is also here.
I am representing many of the small-time clients. Right from the education loan, the banks are insisting on collateral. I am very sorry to say this. Despite the government having a policy that education loans should be given without a collateral, banks are very much insisting for a collateral, and that too a property owned by the parents of the student, not a third-party collateral. Secondly, there are many small-time clients who are longing for working capital. I have seen managers who are comfortably recommending financiers to take money on a borrowing scheme for repayment on 10 months, 5 months installment. My clients are paying with tears the real interest part of it, and they become defaulters. They are being burdened with additional interest. Again, they are forced to take again another loan with the same financier, and the bank is the bridge for the financier and the client. This is the scenario. There are umpteen number of industrial units in Ambattur industrial estate which have been closed down just because they are not having the working capital. This is the true history of Chennai.
Agree with that?
I mean, there can be exceptions, but if you see generally, I mean, students studying in lot of what you call, IITs, IIMs, NITs. I mean, many of them are getting loans without collaterals. Yes, there can be exceptions. I mean, in that case,
correct me sir if I'm wrong, the highest number of NPAs in, if not the highest, maybe second or third, is the education sector, education loan?
Yeah, education loan, the highest NPA as on today is there. But my dear sir, education loan up to 4 lakh is collateral free if it is a domestic, and up to 7.5 lakh also. But this is very strictly being followed in our, when the auditors go to the branch, and we are very particular, maybe a typical case for this particular case, and a good number of educational loans are being sanctioned every year by the banks and promoting the young boys and girls to take the higher education.
Okay, Mr. Ramachandran, please answer his second question.
There was a mention about units getting closed in Ambattur industrial estate and all that. You see, the capacity of an entrepreneur or even a particular segment of or an industry or a small unit to withstand a certain external shocks, this is where capital becomes important. You see, okay, in a downturn, banks can restructure the loan, right? Now, if you say banks are charging additional interest, when do they charge additional interest? Because his account becomes overdue. See, timely measures should be taken. If you feel that you will not be in a position to withstand, you need a longer time frame to repay the loan. You need to have the signals. Well in advance, you need to communicate to the banker and tell him, I would like my loan to be refaced and restructured. These are the reasons why. I am still there. I am fully in charge of my unit. I am doing all possible, taking all possible efforts to see that I withstand the shocks. I will certainly turn it around. This is only a temporary problem. You should be able to convince the banker. See, banks have, there are innumerable cases where banks have rescheduled loans. Large number. Okay. But then, see, intrinsically unviable units.
Again, it's the same point.
Intrinsically unviable units have to be closed because it is see, we have to look at it as an economic activity. Just because you are an entrepreneur sitting with an intrinsically unviable unit, banks cannot go on stretching, their resources and keep on financing, without ensuring that there is some light at the end of the tunnel.
I want to take Maruti Suzuki success mantra from our eminent panelists. Sir, your individual success mantra of your life, please share with the audience.
Dedication to the job, hard work.
Financial ecosystem we need to create in this country, and market intermediation has to improve, and the communication between the bankers and the entrepreneurs has to improve.
Okay.
And definitely rating is something is very important as far as evaluating is
Okay. What's the success mantra of Mr. R. Ramachandran as an individual?
Commitment to the job, professional integrity, institutional loyalty, commitment to the job, and believing in certain value systems. These are the personal things, which I have cared for in my career.
So be very sincere and commit only what you can deliver.
Be passionate and committed to whatever you do. So at times you may stuck somewhere, but your passion, your commitment will make you succeed.